It's 12:15. You'll get to your lunch show in about 2 more hours. I got a lot of slides that I'm going to skip over. And I'm the last guy. Okay, 2014 SAMHSA. Anybody familiar with SAMHSA? Federal agency that hands out grants, Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. Provided a $1.4 million grant to our specialty courts. In Lake County, we have drug court, mental health court, and veterans treatment assistance court. And with that money, we provide services through NICASA and the health department, peer services, a safe housing advocate, an employment specialist, excuse me, and multiple DBT therapists. Don't ask me to pronounce that for you. Maybe Chris knows how to pronounce it. What is it? Dialectical. Yeah, it's deep. It's really impressive therapy, and NICASA has done a yeoman's job on delivering that service. I think we've provided over 100 people with different types of services throughout. But with a federal agency, there's always strings attached, right? And for us to get this grant, we had to show that we were going to develop a collaborative that's going to transcend all the different dimensions of not just the criminal justice system, but with treatment providers, community members, peers, faith-based organizations, et cetera. And we have monthly meetings, discuss various topics and issues that are going on in the community and best practices, kind of educate each other on what one another does. Understanding that all of us have mutual clients. So it makes sense that we jump out of those silos and work together and really. There was a comment made this morning, it takes a village. Well, that's kind of what you need to do if you want to help people overcome their problems with substance abuse, serious mental illness, co-occurring disorders, and our justice involved. So anyway, we do this grant. The first slide here is basically what I just said here. It is what we're trying to accomplish. You can go to the next one. Partnerships, of course, very important. Talked about that. Go ahead. I'm going to go through these really quick so you can have your lunch by dinner time. These are some of our partners. We've actually added more, and we're really working very well in the sandbox together. One of our goals is to increase stakeholder participation. Go ahead. Enhance the trauma-informed, recovery-oriented system of care. People don't realize that many justice-involved people have significant trauma in their backgrounds, and it's important, especially for criminal justice agencies, that we not re-traumatize on how we do business with them. So we need to educate each other on how to do that. And we've probably trained 7 or 8 people that can deliver training throughout the county on trauma-informed care. Okay, go ahead. You can read that on your own. Go ahead. That's bureaucratic stuff. We noticed that we didn't have a big Latino participation in our specialty court, so we're trying to educate that population about the resources that are available through our problem-solving courts. Now, diversion, that's the big one. People with serious mental illness, and by the way, many of them are homeless, or substance abuse disorders, where can we provide services so that we are diverting them from either entering the criminal justice system or penetrating it further? I'm going to talk about a workshop that we had where SAMHSA staff came out and hosted it. It was fantastic. It was well attended by law enforcement officials, treatment providers. We had county board presence there. We had faith-based presence. And we all kind of took an assessment of our criminal justice system, the process, and determined where we had services in place, but where we had gaps as well. I'm going to talk about that in a little more detail in a little bit. Okay, so these are the services that SAMHSA is paying for. I talked about those earlier. Go ahead. More trauma-informed care stuff. These are the subcommittees that are part of our collaborative. Okay, so back in May 2015, SAMHSA sent their experts out. And like I said before, put us all in the same room. We had dispatchers, police chiefs, like I said, county board members, treatment providers, and kind of like a stick man walking through the system of the criminal justice system. There are certain intercepts. And did everybody get a copy of that? That is called a sequential intercept map. And it shows you where, what services we are currently delivering at each intercept. So we're doing pretty good. I mean, we have specialty courts, but again, we're not a perfect county, so we had some gaps. And we as a group determined just what those gaps were and what our priorities should be to resolve them. Okay. There's that. That's why I handed that out. That's a little hard to see on the. So we all voted. And we decided these are, ranked from first to last, our most pressing needs. And the first need that was identified, and I think we discussed this earlier, Lake County needs a crisis care center. That a police officer who can bring somebody who is in crisis and get help instead of going to the jail or going to a more expensive emergency room. We actually visited Rosecrans in Rockford. They have a nice system there.
This is what I'm going to have to hate to do. This room is going to be used in 8 minutes by another meeting. So we're ending no matter what.
Okay.
So what I really want for you, what I really loved is that you got to see all this presentation. Like, we can't do that one. So instead, how do they find out how to be involved with your group that's identifying these frequent users that the undersheriff has talked about and working together and trying to do that? What's their steps to become involved in that?
Well, I'll tell you what, you can email me. It's sfabbri@lakecountyil.gov, and I'll let you know how you can become involved in that. One of the other priorities that we came up with, though, was housing. Because you can do all this treatment, provide all this care, but if they don't have a stable roof over their head, it's not going to work. They got to have a place to go at the end of the day. Coming over here this morning, I encountered one of our mental health court clients who came into the program homeless. And he's walking around here, but he's in that same place that we hooked him up with a year and a half ago. So he's not a repeater. He left that orange triangle and stayed out. Still having some issues, but he's got stable housing. And he's not getting rearrested.